Hello everyone, so this is going to be a daily run. This is going to be with Bronte, as previously requested in one of my comments on the videos. Now they didn't say if they wanted it in normal or extreme, they just said Campanella, so from that I'm going to do it in normal and then I'll do an extreme run on her in another video. This will likely be the video that comes up after this one, although I cannot say exactly when that's going to happen due to time constraints currently. To show relics, I'm starting with the usual setup. I've got my Mercy, Giant Strength, Critical Defender, and Critical Power Shield. This allows us to have high base attack power, which is very important for your damage, plus then Critical Defender proccing from the damage you take from the Giant's Neck, allowing us to spam Detonate before fights to get us critical stacks up, which lets us begin fights with at least 65%. And then we have Critical Power Shield to basically just have a 100% multiplier on all that damage that we're doing, thanks to the fact that we have high crit. Skill upgrades, we start with the 100% shock damage on Detonate. This is bugged and actually lasts the entire run, so once you press it, it's just active always. And then we have ×2 plasmas from the first skill upgrade box. Now I just hurt myself by accident. This is something you need to watch out for. You basically detonate when you have a shield active and not before. Bionic Pulse to get in. And then we're just gonna fire off Eye Plasmas and detonate. And you can see the damage isn't terrific. Like, Bronte's damage is not terrific early into a run, but it scales pretty nicely, allowing her to do good damage later. For these reasons though, she cannot really speedrun, as she requires too much to get going. Now, she does have better stats with weapon-based builds, but then her damage plateaus sooner, so the damage cap on a weapon-based build is lower, but the earlier damage is higher. The biggest thing they can do to Bronte to make this easier for her is just buff the base damage on Detonate and Eye Plasma. Doing that will send her damage up, and that'll be great. I said this in the past, like, tons on her. She is not a bad breaker, her kit is actually really good, her skill upgrades are very nice. The only issue she really has is the base value of Eye Plasma's Detonate. Coming into here, we don't really care for any of these. We'll take the heal just for, like, maintaining our Mercy a bit easier. We don't care for anything in here. The power box will be good, so we'll save and get that. Start stacking our Eye Plasma charges. I mean, our Crit Defender. We'll wait here until we have a shield active so we don't hurt ourselves. Actually, it doesn't matter. We have the Bionic Pulse upgrade. Silly. But yeah, this is pretty much going to be the flow. From this point forward, once you have your double Eye Plasmas, what you're really hoping to see is the 50% multiplier on Detonate that extends the radius, plus the one which lets you have Eye Plasma on your teleport, and then all the shock multipliers. If you get all that, then your damage skyrockets. Relic-wise, you hope to see some more crit chance stuff to cap out your crit, to give you consistency in the burst, and then you hope to see skill power stuff and critical damage as well as extra attack power. I mean, that's got 20% attack power on it, it's better than the weapons we're holding. Take the power box, and we'll move on. The big burst mainly comes once you can just basically fill your screen with balls and press detonate at once. Nothing here is fantastic. This has got a lot of cooldown on it and wouldn't be terrible. Although the special charge module doesn't really help us. A special charge module resets based on damage, and the thing that actually does damage is detonate, not the other skills. So in that case, special charge module doesn't do much. Resetting your detonate won't help you when you're still waiting for your Eye Plasma charges. We'll roll a little bit. Reactive charge module though is huge. We'll wait for our stacks. Luckily we don't have convert energy skill module, so I can just spam it and we'll get stacks eventually. I'm still sick, as you can probably tell. I apologize. This is part of just being immunocompromised. Like, my immune system sucks. I catch illnesses very fast. If there's anything in the area, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get it. It was great when COVID was coming around. So teleport to get the skill power, throw out balls, teleport backwards, and then big explode. As you saw there, 430k. It's pretty good. It's like you want to try and combo your detonates, like your Eye of the Plasmas. Like if you have multiple charges, you want to try and combo it so they all land on top of the boss at the same time, so you get the biggest detonate as possible. Because if you manage to make him all explode at the same time, you can get it so it removes multiple health bars in a single explosion, which is really good. We're gonna wait back here, teleport again, and then teleport again, and then throw out balls and detonate. And this is the gameplay loop for Bronze. She is one of my favorite breakers. I have said this in the past. Like, playstyle wise, she's really fun. I really like the breakers which utilize their entire kit for combos. Like, for example, I don't really like Jungler, since in a skill build you kind of just ignore Bullet Slash and use it as a way to proc reactive charge module, and that's it. So you just become about pressing crossfire and spamming mines. I like Elsa because you use your entire kit. I like Bronte because she needs her entire kit. Like, it just feels well designed in my opinion. Now that Lightning has better buff management on his homing lasers, I like Lightning a bit more too. Lightning was already one of my favorites, but I like him even more now. Skill out mag, get our crit. If we don't find the radius increase on our Eye of the Plasma, we definitely start to feel it though. It becomes hard to hit every single ball at once, especially on these type of fights. Now we haven't had any immunity upgrades yet, which is unfortunate. We've got to hope to see explosion damage increase as well. 100% increase explosion damage is huge. Go in. So now we're going to come across this way. Teleport backwards, fire out the balls. Now I wasn't sure if they were asking for like how I'd run her with 4 relic slots. If they wanted a 3 relic slot run, then I can do that as well. Because I actually run a weapon build when there's only 3 relic slots, just because of the fact of the consistency, like I said. And that is an infinite max setup. So in that sort of regard, what you do is like you basically run single shot magazine, infinite magazine, plus I think critical defender or giant's deck, and then you find either critical defender in the box or giant's neck in the box as fast as possible. And what this allows you to do is then focus on picking up only the multipliers, so all your shock targets and all that stuff, and just go ham with assault handguns. Assault handguns are your highest DPS weapon as a lightweight breaker, so in a weapon build you want to be finding those. This is huge. This is really good. We're spamming detonate anyway to stack critical defender. Now we're going to get a skill power for doing it too. See, this would be really good in a oh, I lied, never mind, I just realized I said magazine capacity, not weapon power. Scrap what I just said. Weak spot's good. Roll once more. Care for that. We'll take, for now, the critical chip, and then we'll get the sense effect scope afterwards. We are a shock breaker, so our shock-based abilities are important to maintain. Our shock status, sorry, is important to maintain. Cool, we got our stacks, so we're gonna go in Bionic Pulse to get closer to the boss. It's quite the distance anyway. There you go. It's one combo. Transition to health bar. So with Bronte, since you're not going to be able to like one-shot health bars like you can on other breakers until you get all your good upgrades, you just want to play slow. Like, just play the phases out like they should be played. Stick to this inner ring. Oh, I got frozen, that's bad. But luckily this weapon has shields you when not in use, so we get some safety from that at least. And as you can tell, I'm basically cancelling the backflip of the Bionic Pulse and the Eye of the Plasma to fire out the extra plasma from teleport. This allows us to make sure that all the balls are going to land at the same time, whilst also making us get back to shooting as fast as possible. Got that status effect scope. We've got a little bit of excess money, so we're gonna roll once here. If we see nothing, then we're just gonna go. Okay, there's nothing here. That would have been alright. Yeah, there's nothing great here, so we're gonna go. Charger module wouldn't be terrible, but we're gonna be firing our weapon a lot. And then we're gonna hope to see something good in here. Attack magazine, that's good. Come in here. There we go. This is a huge upgrade. What this does is makes the ball circle bigger, which means we're less likely to miss. But two, it also gives us a 50% global multiplier, which is massive for our damage. I've lost it, haven't I? Yeah, there it is. Which is massive for our damage. Now we're hoping to find the 100% increase to explosion damage. That's pretty much the last thing that we really need. Then we've got all the important upgrades. Then after that, there's still some DPS upgrades you can get, but the likelihood of getting everything in a Campanella normal run is very low. Roll once or twice just to get this shop set up for after the fight. Extra power chip, cool, we'll get that afterwards. So, Bionic Pulse, and then you'll see here what I mean by the power of, like by the size of the balls and the multipliers that we now have, the damage becomes much better. Get them to jump. Always keep like, even in a skill build, even if your weapon's fantastic, always check what the weapons have on them, just in case. Like, you never know. Like, this one's pretty good. It gives us a shield when weapon not in use. It helps maintain our mercy, as well as critical power shield. But if we see something that's, like, gross damage... Oh, good. Explosion damage increase. We can't afford anything, so we're just going to roll to look at blue weapons in case they have something crazy on them. Nothing fantastic. Oh, of course you show up now. Start stacking. So, the things that we're missing now that would have made this better would be having, what's it called? The 100% skill power on our plasma when you fire it out, as well as the shock target on Bionic Pulse. Those are pretty much the best two that we're missing, like the only two we're missing, sorry. As well as some stuff to cap out our critical chance. Let's get our buff. Now, Protean, we're just going to go in and fire out a bunch of balls. He's going to leap past us, so we're actually going to prep balls for when he lands, like so. And as you can see, one detonate is 1 health bar, so now we just wait. This is where Charger Module would be pretty good. We could basically start preparing multiplier plasma charges ready for when this ends. And your balls will delete some of the projectiles, so... And this is what I mean by how she scales really well with a skill build and provides really good damage in the later portions of the run. But it's just the early portions of the run where she lacks. Detonate and then run down here. And you can see I'm not using my teleport. You don't need to use your teleport. We're saving it for a DPS. We're saving it for DPS just because as well, if he hits the decoy with one of his charges in this phase, then he will just heal from hitting the decoy. Reactivate our pulse. Get ready to teleport out of the way. Detonate once. Detonate twice. And there you go. So, this was the Bronzy run. I hope it's insightful. This would have been nice. Hope it's insightful to some of her earlier struggles as well as her potential in the run. Like I said, I will do an extreme video on her next. Now, I can't say your name because unfortunately you're one of the Asian countries. Like, you're from either Japan, China, or Korea, or something like that, and I'm not quite sure, but thank you for the request. If you want to see her in a specific mode, please, by all means, just clarify in the comments again, and I will get it out for you. But yeah, just to quickly go over again what we had. So... I'm running Hive V2. What's on Hive doesn't really matter. Like this one's just got a little bit of cooldown and skill power. It's not rolled fantastic. But we start with Mercy, Giant Strength, Critical Defender, critical power shield, and then in our runs we're pretty much picking up critical damage where we can find it, power box when we skill power where we can find it, cooldown where we can find it, and more crit chance when we can find it. Other tier 3s that are fantastic to find would have been something like defense suit of retaliation, which would have gave us more attack power whenever we got the upgrades that give us a bunch of defense. And then status effect target would have been fantastic to give us another 50% multiplier when we apply shock. Skill upgrade wise, we start with damage against shock. Ideally, in order of importance, we would find ×2 plasma, extra plasma, and then the explosion damage, and then anything else that is pretty much damage related is our next grab after that. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.